All right, well, let's go to Seoul, South Korea now, and we'll talk with Yeong. Hi, Yeong.
Hello, Andrew. Thanks
Oh,
so much for taking my call.
yes, sir. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, I have a question about Galatians chapter 5,
Hmm.
verse 24, where it says that those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh
Hmm.
with its passions and desires.
Hmm.
I've been trying to make sense of what this verse means by the flesh.
Yeah.
Um, as
Oh, okay. Well, we've
there's
got
different.
we've got about a minute and a half left. So I hear you, and I agree it's a challenging passage. The reason it's challenging, Young, is because we know that our old self died. We know that who we were in Adam died, and that we're new creations, and that the source of our struggle is not our old self. Instead, the source of our struggle is the flesh. Nevertheless, Galatians 5, it makes it sound like the flesh is dead, the flesh is gone. Well, let me point out two things. First of all, who is doing the crucifying here? Who is doing the crucifying in Galatians 5:24? It's actually not God. It's us. It says those who belong have crucified the flesh. That's us. We have decided. We have decided to crucify the flesh. So, number 2, what does that even mean? Well, I would say that it means that when we decide to believe in Jesus, we are agreeing that the flesh is a dead way, that the flesh has no life in it, that the ways of sin and the ways of the world and the old unrenewed mindsets, the old attitudes and actions, they are going to get us nowhere. And so we decide to hate the world, we decide to hate our former life, we decide to hate the flesh, we decide the flesh is a dead way. And so it is dead to us from that day forward, from salvation forward. Can it still be a source of temptation? Yes. It is possible to walk by the flesh. It is possible to set your mind on the flesh. It is possible to choose a dead way. Sometimes we Christians choose death in a given moment instead of life. We choose sin instead of Christ. We choose to walk by the flesh instead of walking by the Spirit. So clearly that choice can be made. But I think this verse, this whole passage in Galatians 5, as the chapter comes to an end, is essentially saying this: there's a new way in town. It's called the fruit of the Spirit. It's defined by love and patience and goodness and kindness. It's defined by all these. And when we came to Christ, we decided to declare the flesh as a dead way. We crucified the flesh with its passions and desires, and we made a pronouncement. We said, no way, no thank you. Therefore, as we live by the Spirit now, let us keep walking by the Spirit. In other words, we started by declaring the flesh as a dead way, so why would we return to it? It makes no sense at all. There's a new way in town. It's life by God's Spirit, and it is beautiful.